Good afternoon and welcome to Entrepreneurs Live Show. I'm David Orfling, your host, and today we're going to blow your mind. We've got a dynamic lady with us that is not only a highly qualified person, but also somebody that cares so much about people, and what she does is truly amazing. I can't wait for Nirupa to share her story with us. So, Nirupa, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, David. I'm actually humbled by the invite, so thank you very much for the platform.
It's the biggest pleasure having you here with us. Now, Nirupa, I would love it if you could share with us, who is Nirupa? Where do you come from? Where do you work from? What do you do? And most of all, I see yoga, and people, I need you to understand, yoga is not yogurt. So you're going to see the other fun part. This is quite awesome.
Okay, great. No, thanks again. I think Nirupa is, firstly, I'd like to associate myself with being a wife and a mom of 3 amazing kids.
That's awesome.
I'd like to, consider myself with that role as a primary role. I have a parallel existence to my corporate existence. I've been in industry, in corporate, specifically the petrochemical space, for about 20. Yeah, and I exited industry about 2.5 years ago. So if I had remained, it would have been approximately 26.5 years of my existence in corporate. And the parallel existence is my creative side, and the creative side is, of course, my yoga. I also have creative ability in the kitchen. On the environmental side, on the charity side, I do a bit of activism work on the education side as well.
Oh, wow.
So I'm quite multifaceted, and I've been accused at some point, oh, but you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. And I said, at that point in time, my soul was very restless, and I said to myself, you know what, there's some method behind this madness, and it's only because I believe that we shouldn't exist as human beings in one existence only, in terms of, okay, my work is going to define me, my job is going to define me. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of relevance and keeping yourself relevant as a human being, as a holistic human being, I do believe you have to have your passion being fed as well. So your passion could be anything, but I do believe that we often define ourselves by the external paradigm. Meaning, we mouth on this wheel, we get up every morning, we brush our teeth, champ the dog, shelter the kids, have the breakfast, go to work, come back, only to do the same thing the next day as well. And I think Einstein defined this as doing the same thing every single time and expect a different result is actually defined as insanity. So I think we are all in those trappings of life. And whilst this sounds very philosophical, I think it's very real in terms of us being able to implement this. And your day job may be X amount of time, but you can still feed your passions and let your passions grow so that you can earn other forms of income as well. So I do believe all of us have a creative existence and so-called logical existence, but we need to see our definition.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. And like you say, doing the same thing every day is boring, number one, but also that doesn't create a life, because a lot of people think that life is all about money. It's not about money. It's about doing something that's really going to make a difference in your life and the life of people around you, and just giving you happiness. So that's quite awesome. What I would like to ask you now is, obviously I'm seeing there in the background you're talking about yoga. What is your business name there?
So it's called Yoga with Nirupa. I'm not sure if you can see that.
We can see it. Awesome.
I've just named my component of yoga as in Yoga with Nirupa. And I've done that for a specific reason. And I can share that with you if you would like.
Yes, please.
Okay, so this brand, I've come up with it only because I feel multifaceted.
Okay.
I think one of us are individuals, And whatever we do in life is representation of our individuality. Like each of us are born with a unique thumbprint, a unique identity. I don't see why we shouldn't take this uniqueness out into the world, into the universe, into our communities, etc.
Yes,
And
yes.
my journey has also culminated in this. So I believe that a personal brand for an individual, whether you own a business or you don't own a business, is extremely important. It defines who you are in terms of your uniqueness.
Okay, that's quite cool. And tell me, with your yoga that you're doing at the moment, is this just classes that you do from a specific location, or is this something that you're doing online? How are you handling this at the moment, especially with COVID-19 being such a difficult situation? I know some of my friends are in the fitness industry, and they actually said to me it's the most challenging time for them at the moment. So please, if you can share for us a little bit about it, because I'm very keen to find out what are you doing, because I can see you doing something different here.
Okay, so well, I'm not special in any way, but what I can tell you is that if you don't keep up and be relevant with the times, I heard something yesterday that if your rate of acceleration, your internal rate of acceleration is slower than your external rate of acceleration, you've actually lost the plot. So yes. I do believe that teaching yoga, whether it's me being a chemical engineer, whether it's being a mom in the kitchen or whatever, we need to adapt, adjust, and accommodate.
Yes.
To answer your question, I've been initially 20 years ago when I qualified with my international accreditation. I taught yoga predominantly part-time. I used to have one class per week, face-to-face class in my studio. I also taught group lessons and private lessons only because my career was quite hectic. And what I did was in the time. So I had to adjust my teaching in accordance to my work because I had to put food on the table. I mean, there were days where I would come home, laptop on, stove on, cell phone on my head, maybe on one side, and then I've got a yoga lesson to do. But I actually do all of that in accordance to what I could fit in at that time. Of course, that's important. And I do believe that, online through COVID-19, I actually don't like to look at COVID-19 as my cup half empty. I mean, it's really terrible, all of the lives being lost and all of the pain and suffering that people are going through. COVID has allowed us to look at our cup half full as well. It's allowed us to reinvent ourselves. And what I said at the beginning about reinventing is keeping up with the times. So whilst we may master one particular trait, we may not be relevant in that trait going forward. So my teaching has evolved from classes to online. I'm fully online for the moment. I've chosen, although we're under lockdown level 1, I've chosen specifically not to go on face-to-face classes, only because I'm not a medical professional. I cannot anticipate, I do not have a shiny crystal ball to anticipate that I may be a carrier of COVID-19 to one of my students.
Oh, yes.
And all of that, and it may not be a well-ventilated area. So because that's not my area of expertise, I've decided to go online. And lo and behold, the online option's been working fantastically. I actually have gone a step further where I interview the person who will join up on that program. And I have a 45-minute interview with him. We just have a coffee chat and we say, okay, who are you? What do you want? What are your outcomes, etc. So the person that joins, even though it seems impersonal behind the screen, and I'd share this tip with all of my other colleagues in this industry, is that it's something that you may want to consider to connect with your students. And when they are connecting with them, they actually feel really connected. So I have students from across the country. I'm trying to build that up, of course. I've got two from Cape Town, quite a few from Johannesburg, and I'm looking to market within our same time zone, overseas. So yeah, I'm quite comfortable with it actually.
Man, but it's awesome. You see, that's entrepreneurship, because you saw a problem for most, you created a solution, and now you've got a product that's available to people literally all over the world, and they can do it from the comfort of a home without risking of getting sick and going out and getting sick. So for me, that's amazing. That's true entrepreneurship. And this is what we need. This is what the world needs now, solutions. So Nirupa, for that, I want to commend you for that. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Tell me a little bit, where can people reach you? Because that is quite important, because I see there's a telephone number and it looks like there's an email and stuff on the back. I can't see it. Won't you share it with us a little bit? Give us your details where people can contact you.
It's my mobile number. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, so I can be inboxed at Yoga with Nirupa. So it's hashtag O with Nirupa. My cell phone number, of course, it's flipped around here, but it's 083 9735. I find that mobile phones work very well in terms of WhatsApp, and that's fine. I do have an email address as well. But I find that these days people like instant responses. So they can contact me if they want a bit more of a slower response, like maybe within 12 or 24 hours. But I find with phone, that's probably the best way to communicate.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, guys, what we're going to do for you is we're going to put the details from Nirupa down here in the video. So what we'll do is we'll give her a number again. I'll just read it out for the public. It's 083 633 9735. We will also put her links out in the comment section so that you can make contact with Nirupa and set up a meeting with her. I think anybody, any lady, any person looking to improve her life, their lives, live it a better style, this is where you need to go. Because I know one thing, yoga relaxes. That's one of the things I've learned with it. So Nirupa, it's amazing. Your story is truly amazing. I don't want to keep you up. I know you're extremely busy. Guys, you don't understand how difficult it is to get this lady. She is busy, 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 busy. And I just want to say thank you from everybody at the show. It's a true honor to speak to you. And we're looking forward to sharing your story with everybody. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for changing the lives of people out there. We need more people like you.
I'm sorry to interject, but there's one thing I want to just message with, if time permits, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I must say, in terms of my journey, I didn't really speak about this journey, but I want to encourage everybody. I have been a really good test case, because since the age of 18, I've been operated on approximately 13 times major surgery. And, all my medical impediments came to me left field. Even the birth of my kids and, all of the complications. Yes. I have my left knee. And it's not because, I'm not saying, proverbially, they say that yoga is for everybody, but I tell my students that whatever you do in life, you must have fun with it. My focus and my journey to yoga, 20 years ago, I literally had nothing. I come from really humble beginnings. So our backgrounds, our medical impediments should not get us in terms of physical practice. And my focus is on just the physical component, because I believe that when the physical component sorts itself out, the mind generally follows, number one. Secondly, I studied in the US, studied my international accreditation in the USA, and people say, oh, but are you a yuppie? I mean, shouldn't you be going to India for this? But it's because as a little girl, I met a yogi in South Africa, and I journeyed to the States, and I journeyed to the States in 2000, the year 9/11 happened. The year I got married, the year I landed my first job at Exxon. So the thing is, nothing is impossible. And it was quite a journey to actually get there. And the journey of life, having kids, having a hectic career, you can inject some sort of physical activity. And even if yoga is not something that resonates with you, I do encourage your listeners to please go out, put your tackles on, run on the road, give a nice stretch, play with your kids in the background. Activity, if you're walking around in the office, is not exercise. Exercise is when you dedicate that 10, 15, or even half an hour, to your practice. And, my lessons have evolved because I've actually brought in the high intensity interval training into my lessons as well. So find what works for you. Get your breathing in check, get your movement, your spine in check, and you'll find that you'll be a content human being. It's not only about being happy, it's about being content.
I love it. I love that message. That is inspirational. You've gone through so much, and look where you are today. You are showing us it's possible. You're showing us we can do this, and we should do this. So people, this is the best advice you can ever get. I haven't heard anything as powerful as this. So Nirupa, I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for this. And thank you for opening up towards us. I know it's not always easy to share your story. So thank you for it. We really appreciate it. And we just want to wish you all of the best of luck for your future. You are amazing. Keep up with it and keep on shining like a bright star that you are. We really appreciate you being on the show, and we are looking forward to following up with you soon again.
Thank you so much here again for the opportunity. And like you said, you offered me this opportunity as a love offering. I reciprocate the same way all unemployed people pay according to their affordability. So price for me is not an issue. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, giving me this platform. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. And listeners, thank you for tuning in today. We're looking forward to seeing you on our next show with another awesome interview. Be blessed, and remember, all the details for Nirupa will be down here in the video. Go and contact her, go and talk to her, just go and do it. Thank you guys. See you soon.